What is going on, guys? Today we are here for our WWE Crown Jewel predictions. Crown Jewel this Saturday afternoon. As always, you guys can expect my review either Sunday night into Monday whenever I get the chance to upload it. But I'm looking forward to this show, man. We got 7 matches on the main show, a kickoff match announced, and honestly, everything's looking good. This looks to be probably maybe the best Saudi show yet. Honestly, I honestly think it's a great show, up and down. There's honestly not one match on here that I'm not looking forward to. I think everything has the chance to deliver, and I'm really looking forward to this show. So we're going to do our predictions one by one as always. So let's get into it. Alright, kicking things off literally on the kickoff show for Crown Jewel, we have McDon taking on Sami Zayn. I know some people on social media were scratching their head like, why is Sami Zayn on the kickoff? Listen, it's fine. He's gonna be alright. It's just a kickoff match. We barely get kickoff matches anymore. He'll be it's just one match. You'll survive. And it's probably gonna be a good one, man. McDon and Rollins tearing up on Raw. Sami Zayn, Damian Priest in the main event. Everything just getting more and more, just leading up to Survivor Series, and we'll probably get War Games, which, I've been back and forth on who's going to be in War Games, whether it's going to be just a Raw set of guys, whether it's going to be kind of an interpromotional thing, getting the Bloodline and some of those guys involved. But after Monday Night Raw, I don't know. Now I'm kind of feeling again like it's going to be just kind of a Raw War Games matchup, which I'm fine either way. So remains to be seen what's going to happen there in the coming weeks. As for this kickoff match on Saturday, though, I'm definitely going Sami Zayn to defeat McDon. I definitely don't see Sami taking the loss. And again, I think everything involving Sami, Cody, the Judgment Day, Rollins, like I think we are leading to one big War Games matchup next month at Survivor Series. I'm very much looking forward, or later this month, because this is going out on November 1st. So later this month at Survivor Series. Nonetheless, let's get into the main show. We will kick things off with Cody Rhodes taking on Damian Priest. I'm looking forward to this matchup. I know we've seen combinations of the Judgment Day versus Cody, Sami, Kevin a lot over the last couple of months, or just throughout the summer. Like that was like what plagued Monday Night Raw main events, just variations of tag team matches and some singles matches in there. Not sure if Cody and Priest have wrestled one-on-one yet. Maybe they have, but I think it's going to be great on Saturday. I'm really looking forward to it. And I really got more hyped about this match because something about Raw this week, man. We got a couple of hell of a promos. One from Cody at the end with Damian Priest, hyping up their match for Saturday. Earlier in the night, which we'll talk about later in this video, McIntyre and Rollins really hyping up their match. A lot of good promos this past week on Raw. And again, just left me more hyped for Crown Jewel, which definitely is the point. But I'm definitely going Cody Rhodes to win this matchup here. This is going to be the first premium live event, I will say, spoiler alert, in the last 3. Set it for SummerSlam, set it for Payback, set it for Fastlane. Did not happen. I'm not saying it here, so maybe that means it will happen. I don't know. But I've said the last 3 premium live events that Damian Priest would cash in and win money, or should say cash in Money in the Bank and win the World Heavyweight Championship. I don't see it happening. I don't expect him to cash in on the show. If he does, he'll probably lose. But that's just me. I'm just throwing that out there while we're talking about Damian Priest. I do not see him winning this matchup, nor do I see him cashing in successfully if he does. I'm going Cody Rhodes to defeat Damian Priest at Crown Jewel. Next up, we got the United States Championship match. Rey Mysterio defending against Logan Paul. This very well could be the match of the night. I really hope it gets a good chunk of time. I think it could be a ton of fun. Logan Paul basically steals the show like every time he has wrestled throughout his WWE career thus far, so I expect nothing less this Saturday afternoon. As for the winner of this match, as much as I love Rey Mysterio, I know it's a little cut off, but you guys know the Rey stuff's always in the background, my favorite wrestler of all time, but I've said it in previous videos, I'll state it again. Logan Paul definitely walking out of Saudi, in my opinion, as the United States champion. When Rey won the title, I was shocked as it is that he was even getting the championship. I wasn't expecting that from Rey, but right now, Logan Paul, I do think winning the United States Championship is the move. I just laid it out in a video the other day. I think there is a grander story for Rey Mysterio to move into towards the rest of this year and then into WrestleMania season with Santos Escobar and the LWO. I think there is something brewing there. As for Logan Paul, I do think he will win the United States Championship and go on to defend it at WrestleMania against one of 2 guys, either that being LA Knight or possibly Kevin Owens. Remains to be seen. But as for this Saturday, I'm going Logan Paul to win the United States Championship. Up next, we got the WWE Women's Championship match, Io Sky defending against Bianca Belair. This should be another good one, man. This is Bianca getting her one-on-one rematch against Io Sky after losing the title at SummerSlam in August, as you all know, and of course out for payback after Retribution. Why did I say Retribution? What the I think it's Retribution, another word for payback, and then that was in my head, but I don't want to remember the Retribution group. I don't know why I said that. Damage Control put her on the shelf. That is the retribution that she is looking for in this match. But as for the winner, I can honestly see this going either way, man. I thought Io was going to lose the title back at Fastlane. I thought Charlotte was going to be leaving Indianapolis as the women's champion. That did not happen. I was thrilled to see Io Sky retain the championship, but just starting to think, you know, as we get closer and closer to WrestleMania season, is Io Sky going to be heading in to Mania as the champion? And I could see her doing that. You know, I think Bianca and Charlotte is a matchup that WWE is possibly eyeing up for WrestleMania. Maybe Bianca and Jade, maybe Charlotte and Jade, whatever combination of those three women, very possible for WrestleMania. But I think all those matches, whichever combination you choose, they can honestly be built up without the championship. And Io Sky, unless she has that women's title, I do not see her being on the WrestleMania card. Bianca, Charlotte, Jade, like I said, I could easily see those matches, whichever combination you want to choose, being on WrestleMania without a championship. WWE will build it at this big Superstars Clash, excuse me. But as for Io Sky, the only way she ends up on that show, in my opinion, is if she's the champion. So I would really like to see her go in to Mania still the women's champion. So as for this matchup, I think Bianca's got a chance to win. I could very much see her winning back the title, excuse me. But I'm going Io Sky to retain the women's championship. I would love to see Io defend that title through the rest of this year, possibly drop it to fill in the blank star at WrestleMania. You know, for a while now, people have been saying Kairi Sane is on her way back to WWE. We have yet to see that, but if she is, Kairi versus Io at Mania, I'd love to see that. Just throwing it out there. But as for this Saturday, I'm going Io Sky retaining the WWE Women's Championship against Bianca Belair. Big time matchup coming up next. We got John Cena versus Solo Sikoa. Matchup that was rumored to possibly take place at WrestleMania, possibly even the Royal Rumble a few months back. We're going to be getting it at Crown Jewel. And I'm very interested to see the way they're going to go with this match, because the whole build has, not the whole thing, but it's turned into a little bit, is John Cena hasn't had a singles victory since 2018, I think. Like, I might have been there for one of his last singles matches. It was him and Finn Balor on Raw in an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. I know Cena won that. He probably wants a couple other matches leading up to the match with Taker that year at Mania, and then after that, it's been nothing but losses. So, or I think he might have won at the first Saudi show. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's been a long ass time since Cena got a win in a singles match, and that has been a big proponent of this storyline. So, is Cena gonna get that first win? Is the losing streak gonna come to an end this Saturday against Solo Sikoa, of all people, who has had his losses, but they're few and far between for the most part. So, I'm very interested to see. This is really a 50-50 split, in my opinion. I think I'd feel more inclined to pick John Cena if we knew Cena was going to continue to be around. And listen, unfortunately, the Hollywood strikes are seemingly still not wrapped up. And Cena's literally stated, like, once they are, I'm going back to work. And, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Cena's earned his right to say, hey, I'm back in the WWE, but, like, once Hollywood's back open, I'm going back. I have no problem with that. But considering they're not back up and running, we might get more Cena. It might not be immediately. He might take another month or two off, and then he might be back for Mania season. We don't know. It just all remains to be seen. The safe bet when it comes to predicting this matchup is, I think, Solo Sikoa, and then John Cena going away for a little while until he maybe comes back, or whatever the case may be. But even though I can very much see Cena winning this matchup, and it may just depend on what Cena's schedule is going to be moving forward, I think the safe bet here, if I had to make a prediction, which is why you're here watching this video, is going to be Solo Sikoa to defeat John Cena. We got the fatal 5-way match for the Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley defending against Raquel Rodriguez, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. I'm honestly looking forward to this matchup, man. One thing WWE does well, even though it comes usually in a time where they don't know what to do with a certain group of people, and the Raw Women's Division, they have not known what to do with the Raw Women's Division all year long. Rhea has very few championship defenses, so if this is their way of trying to get some things going in the Raw Women's Division, just putting all these stars into one match and letting them loose, fine, I'm all for it. Anytime they do these kind of matches, they usually end up in a fun chaos, so this will probably be the same thing. I'm looking forward to it. It probably should be a solid solid matchup on Saturday. Going by process of elimination here, though, Zoe Stark not winning the championship, Shayna Baszler not winning the championship, Nia Jax, I would hope, is not going to win the championship, and I don't think she will either way. Raquel, I mean, I guess you could say she's got a shot in hell. She's definitely going to win a championship eventually. I think WWE wants big things out of Raquel Rodriguez, and I'm all for that. I think she's great, or at least is going to be great, but I think, again, the safe bet here is Rhea Ripley retaining her championship. She really hasn't had the best women's world championship reign, and to no fault on her own. Like, she's on TV every week doing her thing, knocking it out of the park, whatever it may be, even if it's just a promo, but like, they really haven't given her too much to work with when it comes to defenses, and it's really only since the Raquel stuff picked up, you know, into September and then bleeding into, you know, October or whatnot, then we got Nia back and Shayna and Zoe, and then we started getting all these women actually targeting Rhea Ripley for the championship. It's as if the division remembered, oh, well, there's a champion that we should be fighting for. I know it's not actually that, and it's just, you know, Triple H finally getting full control, but at the end of the day, that's what it feels like. So as for right now, I don't think they should take away Rhea Ripley's championship reign. I think the soonest that Rhea Ripley should be losing the Women's World Championship is WrestleMania. She should be going over a year as champion. And if she goes through WrestleMania, possibly defeating a Becky Lynch at that show, I'm all for it. If anybody's going to have that super long reign, let's just say, in the women's division right now, Rhea is the perfect fit for that. So as for Crown Jewel, I'm going Rhea Ripley to retain the Women's World Championship. World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Drew McIntyre taking on the champion, Seth freaking Rollins. This is going to be a hell of a matchup, man. It's been a couple of years now since McIntyre and Rollins locked horns. I'm looking forward to it, especially for the world title. I think it's going to be great, and I've enjoyed the build, man, to this story, and it's kind of been, you know, the building to this matchup, but also building towards the grander scheme of things, which could possibly be War Games, possibly be McIntyre turning heel, which I do think will happen eventually. But I've been really enjoying it, man. We have seen McIntyre just towing the line, kind of just worrying about himself. Again, the promos that we had this past Monday on Raw, the pre-shot video package for McIntyre, really just spelling out his story over the last few years, the pandemic, the Roman Reigns stuff, and now where he's at now. Absolutely great stuff for Drew McIntyre. And then Rollins taking a more serious note in his promo, I really liked. You know, Rollins can be goofy sometimes, and that's kind of, you know, his thing, and I have no problem with that, but I like when the time calls for it and he dials into that serious tone, and he did it this past Monday, being like, McIntyre, like, get over it, like, basically in his own words. Like, I thought it was great. Thought they sold this match like $1 million, and I'm really looking forward to it on Saturday. I think it is going to be a great contest. As for the winner, let me again just state, I do not see Damian Priest walking out as the World Heavyweight Champion this Saturday. If he does try to cash in, I do think it will be a failed cash in, and that just goes for Priest cashing in anytime before WrestleMania. I think, listen, I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'm not going to complain about that, but I just think if Damian Priest, was going to have a World Championship reign before WrestleMania, if he wasn't going to go into Mania as the champion, they would have put the title on him already. That way he can have a little bit of a lengthy reign. At this point, I see Rollins going into Mania as champion, and I did beforehand, you know, especially anyway, but I don't see Priest cashing in successfully if he tries to cash in, so that's just a whole situation on its own. But when dialing into McIntyre and Rollins, as I just stated, I see Rollins going into WrestleMania in April as the World Heavyweight Champion. And you may be saying, well, what does Mania have to do with right now, November? And it has a lot to do, man, because Triple H, we're long-term booking out here. You know, I'm talking like me and Triple H are in the creative room, but like you guys see, things are a little different than they used to be. You know, I don't see McIntyre winning the title so Rollins could win it back at the next pay-per-view. That's not what we're doing here. Rollins is going to go into Mania as the World Champion, and he's going to go in, holding the championship from the Night of Champions back in May and all the way to April at Mania. That's just my prediction. So as for this Saturday, Rollins to defeat Drew McIntyre, retains the championship, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what is going to happen next. If McIntyre is going to turn heel, when it's going to be, how these two might be involved in a War Games matchup at Survivor Series. A lot of interesting elements on Monday Night Raw. Can't wait to see how they're going to play out. And of course, in the main event, the Undisputed WWE Universal Championship match, Roman Reigns defending against LA Knight. This should be a great matchup, man. I'm looking forward to it. I know some people are still scratching their heads at this matchup. Like, why are they putting LA Knight against Roman Reigns? He's obviously going to lose. It's going to hurt his momentum. LA Knight's going to be just fine. Again, I said it in a previous video, but if the guy who was Max Dupree just over a year ago can transform himself from that all the way to what he is now, he's not going to allow himself to fall back down pegs because Roman Reigns beat him at Crown Jewel. LA Knight's going to be just fine, if not better, coming out of this match, and I predict the latter. I think that's how that terminology works. I think he's going to come out better from this matchup, man. I think LA Knight's going to be just fine. He's going to continue to be one of the top guys in the company. But yes, I do see Roman Reigns retaining the Undisputed Universal Championship. I do not see Roman losing that championship any earlier than WrestleMania. And as for LA Knight, I do think he'll still continue to be involved with the Bloodline, possibly Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso, like getting involved in a War Games matchup in a sense. Or maybe if they're not, maybe if it's just a Raw thing, maybe we'll get LA versus Solo at Survivor Series or something like that. I don't know. LA Knight's going to be just fine in defeat because Roman Reigns is definitely retaining the Undisputed Universal Championship. But there's rumors online as of today, which is the day I'm filming this, which is Halloween, I should say, is the day I'm filming this. This may be Roman's last match of 2023. So I guess soak it in why he's here, why he's not going to be on Survivor Series or can't even show up possibly for a SmackDown in the before the end of the year. That beats me. But at the end of the day, if this is all we get for Roman until 2024, it is what it is. Like I said, soak it up. LA Knight unfortunately losing, and I can't wait till Cody defeats Roman at WrestleMania. But that's my predictions for this match on Saturday. All in all, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely leave your Crown Jewel predictions down below in the comments. And a little info before you go. Next Tuesday night, we will be live right here on the No Nation Wrestling YouTube channel, tier ranking every single Survivor Series event since the year 2000. Every Survivor Series of the 2000s, we're going to be building up to this year's Survivor Series in a big way. So definitely join us live next Tuesday. And next Thursday, November the 9th, I am very much looking forward to it. The return full-time of the Ruthless Discussions podcast. We did 5 episodes in 2022, which are all re-uploaded here on the No Nation Wrestling YouTube channel in a playlist. You guys can go check them out. But we're going to be back with the Ruthless Discussions podcast, a podcast all about the WWE Ruthless Aggression era that I hold so near and dear to my heart. That is going to kick off Thursday, November the 9th. Cannot wait. I'm going to be announcing the topic for next week because it's going to be a week from tomorrow. I'm going to be announcing what we're going to be discussing next week tomorrow here on the community tab on the channel, so stay tuned for that. But Ruthless Discussions is back next Thursday. I cannot wait. And while you're here, guys, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Go follow me across all social medias at No Nation Vlogs. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.